She was born in a small, quiet town where the nights felt endless and the stars seemed close enough to touch, and from the very beginning, she felt something calling her, something far beyond the horizon, something whispering to her that the world was bigger than anything she could see around her, and that she was meant to explore it not with her feet, but with her mind. Her name was Alina, and from childhood, she carried a hunger for knowledge that no one around her could quite understand. While other children played games in the dusty streets, she sat outside with an old flashlight tracing the shapes of constellations on the walls, imagining that each point of light was a doorway to something extraordinary waiting to be discovered. But life has a habit of challenging those who dare to dream, and the world around her had firm expectations carved in stone. They did not imagine girls building machines or studying physics. They did not imagine women shaping the future of science. So every time she reached up, the world seemed to gently push her hand back down, reminding her of what they believed she should be. Yet Alina was quiet only on the outside. Inside, she carried a storm, a beautiful, relentless storm that whispered, "Keep going, keep climbing, keep believing, even when no one else does," and so she did. When she entered school, she sat in the back of classrooms, barely speaking, yet her eyes soaked in every detail, every equation, every idea she could capture, and the more she learned, the more she realized that the world was made of patterns, of invisible rules, of unseen forces, and she wanted to understand them all. Her teachers did not always encourage her. Some even said that science was too complicated for her, that she was smart, yes, but not built for that kind of future, and each word felt like a small stone placed on her shoulders, but she learned to carry them not as weight, but as fuel. When the world doubted her, she quietly whispered back, "Watch me." Vision burning bright enough to light her way forward, she worked through nights. When everyone slept, she studied equations until they blurred and sharpened again. She solved problems that even her teachers struggled with, and she did it all alone in silence, because she had learned that sometimes silence is not emptiness, but power gathering strength. Her family did not understand her passion, but they loved her, and they watched her with a mixture of worry and awe as she stepped into a world far larger than the one she was born into. She left home at 18 carrying a single suitcase and a dream that felt almost too big for her hands, but she held it tightly as she boarded a bus to a city whose very air seemed to hum with possibility. College was a storm she was unprepared for, loud, competitive, overwhelming, and filled with people who spoke with a confidence she had never possessed. Yet beneath their confidence, she sensed fear of failure, fear of not being good enough, fears she recognized because she carried them too, but she did not let them control her. She turned fear into momentum. Day by day, she pushed harder, she questioned every detail, she stayed after class, asked things others were too embarrassed to ask. She worked in labs where machines hummed like sleeping giants, and the glow of monitors lit her face through long nights. She grew stronger, smarter, more certain that this path was meant for her, even if it was twisted and difficult. But even the strongest hearts face moments that test them, and hers came in the form of a project that would change everything. It was a research program focused on building a new kind of sensor, a device that could detect microscopic changes in pressure, changes so small they could signal equipment failures before they happened, a breakthrough that could save lives in hazardous environments, such as mines, deep sea vessels, or even spacecraft. The unspoken weight of his doubt, but she refused to step back. She volunteered to assist for free. She worked on the edges of the project, organizing data, cleaning equipment, doing whatever small tasks she could, hoping for just one chance to prove herself. And then one night her chance came. A design flaw in the prototype was causing unpredictable readings, and no one could figure out why. The team was exhausted, frustrated, ready to abandon months of work. But Alina stood quietly in the corner studying the blueprints spread across the table, and suddenly she saw it, a tiny oversight, a pattern that did not match the logic of the system, and her heart pounded. She stepped forward, her voice shaking, as she explained what she saw. At first no one listened, but when they checked her theory, the room fell silent. She was right. That moment cracked open the door to her future. From that night on, she became a full member of the research team. She redesigned key components, introduced new modeling techniques, and slowly the device took shape, becoming more accurate, more reliable, and more powerful than they had ever imagined. Yet success often comes hand in hand with struggle, and as the project neared completion, she faced pressure from unexpected places, pressure that whispered she did not belong, pressure that came from colleagues who felt threatened, pressure that told her she should step back in. Let others take the lead. Those voices shook her for a moment, but not for long, because when she looked at how far she had come, when she remembered the girl tracing stars on the wall, she found her strength again. She understood that her journey was not just about science, it was about proving that determination can carve a path through even the hardest stone. Monitors and humming machines. Alina stood at the center, her heart pounding as she activated the system, and for a moment the world held its breath. Then the readings appeared, steady, precise, perfect. They had done it, and much of it was because of her. News of the breakthroughs spread quickly, and soon industries across the world were seeking the technology, from submarines to power plants to space agencies. The device promised a new era of safety, an era where catastrophic failures could be prevented before they ever began. One afternoon, as she walked alone across campus, she paused beneath a tree, feeling the wind move through the leaves, and it hit her all at once. She had changed the world, and she had done it by refusing to let doubt write her story. Years later, she was invited to a major international conference, and when she stepped onto the stage, she looked out at the sea of faces, engineers, scientists, leaders from every corner of the world waiting to hear her speak, and she felt something settle gently inside her, something like peace. She had not just reached the dream she had once carried, she had expanded it. She had become the kind of woman she had once searched for in books and stories, a woman who dared. She spoke softly, but with power, telling the audience about the journey from a small, quiet town to the heart of scientific innovation. She told them about failure, resilience, the beauty of curiosity, and the courage it takes to keep going when the world expects you to stop. And as she spoke, she noticed a few young women in the crowd, eyes wide the same way hers had once been, and she realized that her story was no longer just hers, it belonged to them too. After the conference, a girl approached her, trembling slightly. She said that she had almost given up on her dream of studying engineering because the world kept telling her she could not do it. But after hearing Alina speak, she felt hope again. She felt possibility. Alina knelt so she was eye to eye with the girl, and she said softly, "The world will try to tell you what you cannot be. Do not listen. Find the thing that makes your heart light up and chase it even when no one believes in you. Chase it, especially then, because if you keep moving, if you keep trying, you will get there, not because you are lucky, but because you are unstoppable." And as the girl walked away, Alina felt a warmth spread through her chest. She had become not just a scientist, not just an innovator, but a guide, a voice of courage echoing forward into futures she would never see. As the years passed, her work continued to evolve. She developed new systems, new technologies. She mentored the next generation of scientists, and she traveled to places she had once only dreamed of visiting. But no matter how far she went, she carried a part of her childhood with her, the stars she once traced with a flashlight, the quiet determination that had shaped her life, the belief that even the smallest spark can grow into a blazing light. And now when people tell her story, they do not speak only of the device she created or the awards she received. They speak of her courage, her persistence, her willingness to rise again and again, no matter how many times she was told she did not belong. Her journey became a reminder that greatness is not born from ease, but from the fire of challenge, that true strength is forged not in applause, but in solitude, in late nights, in silent battles no one else sees, and that within every dreamer lies a force powerful enough to change the world if only they dare to listen to it. And so her legacy continues, not in machines, not in inventions, but in the hearts of those who look up at the night sky and feel something whisper quietly inside them, telling them to keep going, to keep reaching, to keep believing that they too can shape the future. Because one woman did, and through her they learned that impossible is just a word waiting to be rewritten.